Hi there, students. Okay, today's word is seam. Notice it's seam, not seam, S-E-A-M, the seam. And then that word seam is both a verb and a noun, but most commonly it's a noun. And then we have seamless, an adjective meaning the opposite. Okay, a seam is the edge where two pieces of cloth are sewn together. So look, you see here, this is the seam. The seam, this is where the two pieces of cloth are joined, and this down here is the seam. The seams of the shirt were sewn in black cotton. My trousers split along the seam. Oh my God, how embarrassing. You can also have a seam in metal work where you join two bits of metal, they don't reach, so you could solder or braze or weld another piece of metal between them. Okay, so the seam where the two pieces join. Now, we have a couple of idioms with this. Firstly, we have bursting at the seams. If something is bursting at the seams, it's extremely full. It's full to overflowing. Before COVID, this pub was always bursting at the seams, but now it's empty. My suitcase is so full, it's bursting at the seams. It's so full that the seams are going to break. Yeah? And normally it breaks here, so it's bursting at the seams. We also have the idiom that something is coming apart at the seams. This means it's in very bad condition. It's close to collapse. So, for example, yeah, my shirt was coming apart at the seams. Maybe the cotton in the seams was rotting, or I'd been used so much and it was starting to break at the seams. That is literal. But the healthcare system in this country is falling apart at the seams. The player was on the point of winning the match, and suddenly he came apart at the seams, and he ended up losing it. He collapsed. He couldn't continue playing well. It just disintegrated. The education system is coming apart at the seams. Yeah, it's collapsing. It needs investment. It needs more infrastructure. My old car is coming apart at the seams. Bits seem to fall off it every week. It has a new problem every week. Notice as well, seam actually has another meaning as well. A seam can be a layer of mineral underground, particularly a seam of coal, a coal seam. So they mined a seam of coal that was 3 meters thick. The mine is located over a rich seam of gold, a stratum, a layer. Yeah? And then you could also use that figuratively as well. The football club has a rich seam of young talent, a supply. There is another meaning of seam, but it's very old-fashioned and not really used anymore. A cartload, a load of something loaded onto a cart. Okay, so now let's look at the word seamless. Seamless means without joins, and we use this especially in business or politics. A seamless transfer of power. It's clear the change of president in the US has not been seamless. There've been It's not been a smooth transition. It's not been continuous with no gaps. Yes, when the new manager took over, there was a seamless transition. We want to integrate the new technology seamlessly. So there are no stops, there are no gaps. It's smooth and just continues running as if, so you just don't notice it. Okay, what about seam as a verb? Well, to seam, to make a seam. In cricket, you can have a bowler that's a seamer and he seams the ball. He bowls the ball so that it bounces on the seam. If you look, a cricket ball has a stitch seam. It bounces on the seam and then moves sideways. So, a seam, where two pieces of cloth join together. To come apart at the seams, to be falling apart, to be bursting at the seams, jam-packed. A seam of mineral, a seam of coal, and then seamless, continuous. Okay, so a seam is, I think, 5 in formality, both the cloth join and the layer of mineral. I think this you can use absolutely anywhere. As well, the adjective seamless, 5 in formality, use it anywhere you want. I think the two idioms, bursting at the seams, this is probably a 4 in formality. You could use it in an informal writing, maybe something semi-formal, but very formal, definitely not. Completely full. And then coming apart at the seams again, 4 in formality. I think more formally, in bad condition, collapsing. And then as to origin, well, there was an Old English word, seamer, S-E-M-E, meaning a seam, and a Proto-Germanic word, saum, that which is sewn, and you even have a Proto-Indo-European prefix, sayu, S-Y-U. Okay, so a seam, a join, seamless, continuous, without breaks or interruptions. And then a seam of coal, a seam of mineral. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Seam.